All right, welcome everybody to the meeting of the Lee School Committee. It is Tuesday, September 10th at 5 o'clock. Some of us are coming to you virtually. Some of us are at Lee Middle and High School. We are currently continuing to be in a virtual meeting room per Governor Baker's orders suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, general law, Chapter 30A, Section 20. This meeting will take place in a hybrid fashion, both virtually via Zoom or in person for those committee members and attendees choosing to access in either manner. I'd like to call this meeting to order pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20. I am hereby informing all attendees that a video and audio recording is being made of the meeting. Next up, can you join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? It's being led by Finn Langlois, Parker Stanton, Abby McLaughlin, and Michaela Del Soldado.
Whenever you're ready.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Nice job. Good work.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was excellent. We appreciate you coming to join us. Next up, we have our mission statement. The mission statement of Lee Public Schools is to ensure students have the opportunities to develop the social, civil, and critical thinking skills to thrive in an ever-changing world. Brenda, could you do a roll call for us, please?
Mr. Robin?
Here.
Ms. Cooper?
Here.
Ms. Kushert?
Here.
Mr. Langlois?
Here.
Ms. Larman?
Here.
Mr. Nichols?
Here.
Ms. Strickler?
Thank you. Up next, we have the approval of the August 13th, 2024 Lee School Committee meeting minutes.
A motion to approve meetings from the August 13th, 2024 Lee School Committee meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? Brenda, can you roll call us, please?
Mr. Robin?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Kushert?
Yes.
Mr. Langlois?
Yes.
Ms. Larman?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
And Ms. Strickler?
Yes.
Okay, up next, we have public input with Nicole Kusherick.
Residents of Lee are invited to address the committee regarding items on this evening's agenda at this time. Issues raised will normally be referred to the administration or a subcommittee of the school committee. No.
Nobody? All right, do we have a student representative?
Not until next month.
All right, well, then we can take that off the list. All right, superintendent's update with Mike Richard.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's go back to Zoom and I will share my screen. There we go. All right. So good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I will promise to be brief, and if it's okay, Ms. Larman, I'm going to weave my LES principal's report into this to be time efficient.
Love it.
All right, so opening school enrollment, so we're at 636 students, pretty good starting place for us. We hope that number goes up. Again, you'll notice a large chunk of those students are indeed school choice students. We have 4 outplaced students and 54 students being tuitioned in. Again, it sets us at a pretty good position. We do have some concern around that kindergarten number. We did end up with more students than we anticipated, so that's good news, but fewer students than we desire. We'll continue to explore ways to increase that kindergarten number over the course of the year. Opening a school, I would characterize it as a successful opening. We had some excellent PD that took place. We had some engaging speakers at convocation from Russell Johnston and Ron Suskind. Congratulations to Mrs. Fennelly on winning a couple of tickets to see the Red Sox. And over the last couple of weeks in both schools, we've had successful lockdown and fire drills thanks to the Lee Fire Department and Lee Police Department. We have, I mentioned at the last meeting, we are looking for a group of educators. We have secured said group of educators. We've got six educators from Lee that are going to be part of the Day of AI. And we are going to really be at the front of the work around policy around artificial intelligence. So we're one of, originally I had mentioned to you last month, they were looking for 15. They had 16 applicants and I think they were reluctant to send one packing. So he took all 16. So the first meeting is October 18th. Sorry, Mr. Briganti, at MIT. And I say sorry to Mr. Briganti because 5 of the 6 are his staff from LMHS. Playground update. Everybody's been anxiously awaiting this project to come to closer to completion. So it's going to happen Saturday. We've got beautiful weather scheduled for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which means we'll be able to make sure the ground is prepped and then painted and then not disturbed on Sunday. So we're going to be painting US and world maps. If time and volunteers allow, we'll also do Foursquare and hopscotch. If time and volunteers don't allow, we'll do that at a later time. We are going to begin restoration of the wooden paw print in the front of the building. So thanks to Mr. Martinuk, who's going to power wash that as step 1 on Saturday. And children are welcomed and quite frankly encouraged to be a part of this project as it's their playground. I just ask that an adult be with them to help manage the masses. Hot dogs, hamburgers will be available for all volunteers. So it looks to be an exciting day from 8 to 3 on Saturday. Any member of the school committee and any member of the school community is welcome to join us. Paula Duhan, she's been working really hard year after year over her garden. I just thought she sent me this image and it's just like, look at all the stuff we're still pulling in. And it's pretty impressive. And thanks to the students who help her to make that project success year after year. She's really working hard and she's got some great ideas about how to sustain that project for years to come. And so we're working closely to make that happen. Took this photo today. LES had day 1 of the book fair. Day 2 is tomorrow during open house. But thanks to the PTO, every single student was able to leave with a book, whether they had the money to buy one or not. So I appreciate the hard work that they did to make sure that the students were able to leave with something to encourage reading. And on that note, sometime in the next couple of weeks, that lending library that some young lady named Abby was putting together will be installed up at LES as well. Some important information. Tomorrow night is open house at LES. Thursday night is open house at the middle and high school. Picture day is tomorrow at LES. It has already taken place at LMHS. We've got a facility subcommittee meeting on Thursday at 4:30 to talk about mostly the state of Maple Street and the property that is there. The LYA is interested in acquiring some of that land for them to build a building and as their lease at their current property is expiring in a couple of years. And then selfishly for me, Spirit Day at LES is next Friday. So wear your orange and black. Order does not indicate importance. MCAS and WIDA results. We've got access to them, to the MCAS results. WIDA results will be coming out next week, but we'll be working on comparing these data with early benchmark data. The LES window for some of that from STAR benchmarking started on the 2nd. We'll run through the 4th of October. And so we're going to dig deep into data so we can make some informed decisions around that. I'll keep the committee updated. And that's what I've got for you this evening. I do appreciate the start time, Chair Larman.
I thought you might. Thank you so much, Mike. I wanted to let you guys know that, as you mentioned in the finance committee meeting, I'm all over the place. And everywhere that I have gone, that's a school that you invited to come to convocation has raved about how great it was. So I wanted to let you know that.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Mike? All right, hearing none, we will move on to Greg Begenti at Lee Middle and High School.
Thank you. We had a great start to the year as we start our third week of the new school year. At LMHS, we had 320 students to start, which is up from 305 that we ended last year with. And I just think it's worth mentioning that our seventh grade is our biggest class in years at 68. Currently with one new student who came in today to register and will be starting later in this week. So we'll be at 69 seventh graders. We haven't seen a number like that in a long time. Athletics are in full swing now with games starting. Every sport has started with games. We have the first football game this Friday night. Other co-curriculars are starting up this week and next week. They've been all over the announcements. So their initial meetings, which are open to any student who's interested in those, will be happening over the next couple of weeks. That includes student council, who has a new advisor this year. So they're kind of starting a little bit from scratch, but we will have a student representative at next month's school committee meeting. Open house, as Mr. Richard mentioned, is this Thursday night. We certainly hope to see as many families as possible. That starts at 6 o'clock on Thursday evening. And next week, we're starting off with a guest speaker, Mark Leanweaver, for a school-wide assembly next Thursday morning. Last spring, several of our students went to the MIAA sportsmanship conference, and Mark spoke at that conference, and the students came back raving about him. So we had an opportunity to bring him in next Thursday. He talks about a lot of things, from motivation and anti-bullying and just character, how much character counts as students grow and get older. So it should be a really good event. Hopefully all the students will enjoy that. And that's all I have for tonight.
Does anybody have any questions for Greg? All right, moving on to Jen Norton in special education.
Special education, we are starting off the year. I've been meeting with the staff pretty regularly. We're just making sure that all of the paraprofessionals and students are placed correctly to make sure they're getting all of their services. We are still short 2 full-time paraprofessionals as well as some long-time subs. So if you know anybody who might be interested, please give them my contact information. We are starting to set meetings for all of the new students in the district, as well as annual IEPs and reevaluations that are due in the next 4 to 6 weeks. And if you have a child who you would like to have evaluated or want any information about the referral process, again, they can contact my office, which is located at the elementary school. That's all I have for today.
Does anybody have any questions for Jen? All right, last up, we have facilities.
In facilities, we have 2 projects outstanding. The blacktop at LES is complete with LB, just what we're doing this weekend with the volunteers in the community. And then the HVAC controls, we've had a controller that was down. CTC will be here tomorrow, and once that's found, it'll be about 2 to 3 weeks to complete the project. And then sports.
Does anybody have any questions?
I can just add something, Andrea, to that. I emailed all the staff today, just asking them to be mindful of personal devices in their instructional spaces that are consuming electricity, as we are noting just an increase in rates and costs. And so I don't know how well that's going to be received, but I did mention that we're trying to be conscious and responsible and respectful of the budget. So ask them to remove them as often as, or whenever, as much as possible. So just want to make sure that the committee's aware of that.
Thanks, Mike. Any
Yep.
other questions, concerns, statements on facilities? All right, moving on, we have our committee reports. First up, we have Finance Committee. Kirk, take it away.
Yep, so again, really happy with our meeting time, 4:30 was awesome. So we didn't meet earlier, we reviewed and improved some payrolls, and we had some discussion on some other items, but we'll start with accounts payable. Mr. Jessup.
So we had two accounts payable warrants since our last meeting. The first was for $113,282.64. And the top vendors are Branches, Interworld Highway, and Xerox. And the second warrant was for $42,846.45. And the top vendors for that warrant are LYA, MTRS, and Silvernail. So the total of those two warrants is $156,129.09.
And we did vote to approve this warrant.
Right, I will entertain a motion for the warrant.
I'll make a motion to approve the warrant, this total amount of $156,129.09.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Brenda, can you roll call us, please?
Mr. Robin?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Keshar?
Yes.
Mr. Langwa?
Yes.
Ms. Larmen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Strickler?
Yes.
Next up was payroll.
So the two payroll warrants since our last meeting total $344,303.55.
We did vote to approve this warrant.
I will entertain a motion for the payroll.
Make a motion to approve the payroll in this total amount of $344,303.55.
Second.
Any discussion? Brenda, can you roll call us, please?
Mr. Robin?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Keshar?
Yes.
Mr. Langwa?
Yes.
Ms. Larmen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Abstain.
Ms. Strickler?
Yes.
Okay, next up, we have old business, of which we have none. So new business, school improvement plans.
I don't know if order indicates anything. Do you want me to go take LES first?
Yeah.
Okay, so the school improvement plan, the Lee Elementary School school improvement plan for 24-25 was shared with the committee. I don't know that I need to bore you with details. You all had an opportunity to read it. It was vetted by the administrative team and the curriculum school council and the curriculum subcommittee. We have four major goals around improving our MTSS approach, working on the SEL supports that are available at LES, working on communication, and then improving school climate by re-engaging with Fidelity, the PBIS program. I think it's a solid action plan, especially for a year with an interim principal. I think we can manage the goals that are set there. They're not unreasonable. What you all need to know is that my emphasis while supporting and weaving all of those things is really going to also be on closing gap areas in our accountability relative to ELA, math, and science.
Okay. Does anybody want to make a motion to approve the LES school improvement plan?
I make a motion to,
Go ahead.
to approve the LES school improvement plan.
I'll second.
Second.
Any discussion? None? All right. Brenda, can you do a roll call?
Just to clarify, Craig was first to second.
That's right, Betsy. I beat you to it.
Tracy, yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Keshar?
Yes.
Mr. Langwa?
Yes.
Ms. Larmen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Strickler?
Yes.
All right, next up, we have the high school improvement plan. Go for it, Greg.
So similar to Superintendent Richard, I guess interim principal Richard, you have the school improvement plan proposed for LMHS. We also have 4 goals that we're focusing on this year. Goal number 1 being related to our performance in certain grade levels in certain MCAS areas. Goal number 2 related to looking at our high needs students and how we can help serve them this year, particularly with the loss of the 2 interventionist positions that we've had for the past 2 or 3 years. Goal number 3, continuing to look at our grading system, both in terms of our academic grades and the soft skills scores that we give out, and making in particular those soft skills scores more meaningful to students and to families. And goal number 4 is to continue to work on school climate as well. I do believe that the action plan we have in place will be a good roadmap for us to follow this year as we work to meet these goals.
Would anybody like to make a motion to approve the middle and high school improvement plan?
I move to accept the middle and high school plan.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, just real quick. So, I mean, Greg, do you see any? We lost our title interventionist, and that's an unfortunate thing that happened. Do you see? Yeah, never mind.
Ways to do it.
Yeah.
We think we've identified already a workable plan for the most high need students in ELA, especially at the middle school level. The high school level is a little more difficult, but we kind of have a plan in place, but it's going to involve some willingness on those students to give up a little time occasionally. Math is proving to be a little harder, so that's still a work in progress to figure out the plan from that.
My concern is that obviously my understanding, again, I'm not a teacher here, but my understanding is interventionists are there for the kids that are on the cusp that are either going to succeed, or if they get a little bit of push, they're going to succeed. They might not if they don't. It's just real, rough understanding of it. And I guess my point to this is, and I said in our finance subcommittee meeting, there's a cost of doing business in educating our students. And I think that losing those interventionists was a real regret of mine in order to meet our budgetary requirements set to us by the town. This is a school and our job is to educate our kids. And I am, again, another hill I'm willing to die on is if we need interventionists, we're going to have to, that's the cost of business. We're going to have to do it. So I'm willing, if data shows, if we need it, then I think it's a conversation to have in our budget season. Might not be a popular opinion to have for some people. I'm not saying in this room, but I'm saying some people maybe in town government. But this is a school. Our job is to educate kids, and if we're not doing it to the best of our abilities, we are not doing our jobs. Nothing you guys are doing your jobs. Teachers are doing great. Admin's doing great. But if we're not providing you the structure and support that you need, either by staff or by positions or by resources, that's our failure, and I own that. My point is, if we need it, we need to budget for it. We need to do it. We need to support our kids.
Any other discussion? All right, Brenda, can you do a roll call for us, please?
Mr. Robin?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Keshurek?
Yes.
Mr. Langwa?
Yes.
Ms. Larmen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Strickler?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have a new revolving account for the class of 2028. I will let you know that the finance committee did approve this, but I'm going to let Greg fill the rest of you in on why we're doing it.
Every fall, we do ask for a new revolving account for the new freshman class so that there is a vehicle for them to fundraise and pay any bills they might have over their 4 years of high school. So that is the time for the class of 2028 revolving account to be created. And we need your approval to do that. It does often come up. People ask about previous years. We are all caught up at this point. with the classes of 2022 and 2023 essentially being closed out. And we do give graduating classes 1 calendar year to finalize the plans for any remaining funds. So by the end of the school year, 2024, which I think has around $1,200 left, we'll work with them to come up with a plan for what they want to do with those funds.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Would anybody like to make a motion to approve the revolving account for the class of 2028?
I motion to approve revolving account for class of 2028.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Brenda, can you roll call us, please?
Mr. Robin?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Keshar?
Yes.
Mr. Langwa?
Yes.
Ms. Larmen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Strickler?
Yes.
Okay. Next up on our agenda is future business. Our next school committee meeting will be on Tuesday, October 8th at 5 o'clock. Loving this new time. Lastly is adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? Brenda, can you roll call us out, please?
Mr. Robin?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Mr. Langwa?
Yes.
Ms. Larmen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
And Ms. Strickler?
Yes.
All right, we are adjourned at 5:27.
Thank you.